Hi everyone and welcome back. We're about to head into episode 15. I'm going to make the assumption that they're going to end this level in this episode. Possibly. I feel like maybe they're making their higher level doors longer episodes because it usually takes longer to figure these doors out. That's why they're higher levels. We did lose another person, but honestly, they're not really giving us too much about these people unless they've been in an episode before. So I don't have the same connection of like, oh, they died. I'm like, okay, cool. But I do want to see how they completely solve this mystery. That kid who's now in the grade 3, who's the only one to survive, and that teacher. We'll see about them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
我不知道。
来呀
2年前，在学校外，有个学生发生了车祸，这件事情你知道吧？他死后，很多同学拿他的死编成歌曲来嘲笑他。
Wow, yeah, imagine mocking someone after they die.
我不仅认识他，还认识他的爷爷和奶。
Oh, okay, something added on.
他父母呢？
Dead. I'm guessing her parents are dead.
啊，在一次送鱼的路上。
Wait, they died in a car accident as well?
父母出了车祸，他也出了车祸，真可怜。
这小女孩长得挺漂亮，怎么会被人排斥呢？
Because the classism.
这个是事故路况的照片。
But look at the pictures.
车应该不多，司机的视野应该很好才对。
So maybe she was murdered.
可是这么穷的人家，
Send her to hit this
为
school.
什么要让女儿上那么好的学校？
想通过知识去改变命运。
If she was successful, then they might prosper.
好可爱。我小时候不开心的时候，也会在玩具上画个笑脸，这样可以鼓励自己。
Yeah, he can hear her.
你们听到了吗？
听到什么呀？你怎么总是一惊一乍的？
Because he can hear things.
看来这个花篮就是陆佐子的，他走到哪儿就会带到哪儿。你昨天晚上在宿舍看到的。
Yeah, that means she's around. I've said this.
难道非要杀了陆佐子？
Or freeing her might get the key.
他可是被欺负的对象。怎么了？心情不好？我是觉得他可怜。
It's because he understands.
你们怎么来了？说说吧，你还知道什么？我知道的已经都告诉你们了。
这个同学让你保守什么秘密？
Yup.
陆佐子的死和你俩有关。陆佐子在学校里杀人，也是为了找到你们两个。
不是这样的。
Seems like it is. These NPCs are done so well that I forget they're only characters in the game. I think they're real people.
加上陆佐子平时在我们班成绩不错，
So people were
很多
jealous.
同学出于嫉妒，就对他爱答不理的。
These shows, like East Asian shows, do the art of bullying so well. It really is hard to watch at times.
蒋景，你非得让他捡球干什么呀？那球都弄得鱼腥味儿，怎么玩啊？
I have no sympathy for any of the students being killed.
同学们，咱们集合一下，我们拍个合影好不好？
Let's not forget he excluded her from the photo as well.
他在这，我们怎么拍啊，刘老师？
挨着你，
我要被抽晕了，我真是。
God, I hate these kids so much. What did they do to her to make her lose her leg?
陆佐子，咱俩玩个游戏好不好？
你干嘛拿我日记本啊？闭嘴！ 呀！
别抢，别抢！
活该！一个臭卖鱼的跟我装高冷，我现在就把你打回原形。
No, you're jealous because she's smarter than you. Insecurities.
让我给你洗洗吧。
Is that toilet water?
从那天以后，班上就开始有人离奇死亡，大家都害怕极了。
Good, you should have been afraid.
他叫某凯，已经转学走了，准备出国。
You need to go and find that other person.
他们肯定曾经是一个班的。
你今天状态怎么那么奇怪？
Because you explained to us she's from a poor family, so she feels affected by it.
我打抱不平行吗？我就是看不惯他们这种欺负女生的样子。你不平时也总是欺负我吗？
这只要是拿了奖，就能给班集体带来荣誉，大家呢就能接纳他。
It went the opposite way.
所以，宿舍里那么多奖状，都是陆佐子的。那撕了奖状就等于触犯了禁忌条件。
Yeah. Huh. Look at the names. Oh.
您认识这个人是谁吗？
这是我们以前的校董，他现在已经辞去了校董的身份。
Why though? Why would he resign?
姓毛啊，真巧。
排，我跟祝萌睡就行了。
其实我小时候也一样，总被人欺负。
你小时候也被人欺负过？
So many people are bullied.
只是幸亏有我那个朋友，我才不会变成佐子那样。
Yeah, because you had someone defending you.
如果我告诉你这个世界上根本就没有阮白洁这个人，会怎么样？
Oh, she's gonna go and tell him.
可是那张照片，
Should you be telling? I guess why not? I like how he won't say it out loud to the audience, but he'll whisper it in her ear. Censorship. Get past it.
你们怎么又来了？没完没了了是吗？
No, because it's a game.
你们怎么知道的？
Magic.
某凯，他确实是校董的亲戚。
But
我只知道这么多，其他的我什么都不知道。
he's lying.
说了多少次，我不要再回到这个鬼地方了，干什么又叫回来？
好吧，一会儿就没事儿。
干什么呀？
Oh, look at you with the attitude.
你们什么人啊？
Your mother.
我们呀，我们是给这个学校修缮教学楼的。
顺便修缮不良的学生。
You ain't going anywhere.
江小龙都说了。
说了。
Well, what he wanted them to know.
我如果跟你们这些维修工说了，你们能保证我没事吗？
No, not in this game.
也不知道他这股子傲劲是从哪儿来的。
都是装的，他要是碰到喜欢的人，肯定不是这样的。
Oh, okay.
三楼。
I mean, we again in the Ling Ling when he had that vision, he was laughing at her. He was sat there laughing at her cruelly while everyone was bullying her.
你到底什么时候才告诉他真相啊？我都要等不及了。
On the trip.
过几天不是要春游吗？
So he was the ringleader. Not a shock.
我们玩游戏好不好？
Notice how it went from the diary to now a love letter.
每次给西去，让你装高冷。来，把水给我。
And he spat on her.
第二天，我们就听到陆佐子被车撞死的消息。
So it always was a car
大家没有人觉
accident.
得伤心。
So he wrote the song. Maybe he has to say the last lines.
你别冲动，这事儿得从长计议。
不弄死江秋，我心里不舒服。
你弄死他，
Yeah, you've got to calm down, or otherwise you're going to get killed.
你这句话是什么意思啊？
你再叫他给弄死了，白鹿怎么办？以后我跟白洁结婚了，我入赘到黑曜石去了。
Yeah, good on him for interrupting.
人在哪？
他回家了，
回家了。什么时候走的？
中午从外面回来，他就收拾东西，匆匆回家了。
Why is he always running home at noon?
怎么找钥匙？
要不让刘老师再给他们找回来。
They won't show up. They have a time frame, and you've missed it.
有这么欺负一小女孩的吗？
纨绔子弟不都这德行？
No, some wealthy kids are nice. Some.
要是白洁在就好，她肯定是一个心地善良的。她身体到底怎么样？
也不会搭理你的。
Well, she's talking to you right now.
你帮我解释一下呀。
我现在觉得吧。
Now she's finding it interesting because obviously she's picturing those two together, but he's also putting everyone in danger by continuously putting him in danger.
王月啊，真不是你想的那样，我跟白洁真的没关系。
She was just about to say something there. Oh. Okay, the episode's about to end in a second. What's going to happen?
陆佐子从小就叫自己佐子。
Oh. I do enjoy this story. Everyone knows I do. I've said it. But I do think it's dragging on a little. I was hoping we would have finished it by this episode. Now it seems like the next episode is where it's fully going to be realised, because we got a lot of information. But I do think it's dragging on a little bit. And I understand that they have to with how many episodes they've got. But I feel like it's a bit too long. Especially because we didn't even have that girl who's still alive. And I think there's someone else. So it was like, okay, it's just dragging on a little bit. But I will say, really important moments. Knowing that the guy lied isn't too much of a shock when you think of Ling Ling having that vision where he saw her being bullied, and I think he was looking from her eyes, and you could see that guy laughing. So him being the actual mastermind, or at least part of whatever happened to her, is not a shock. It's interesting though how when you change the story, like how people acted. So the bullies were still very horrible, disgusting people, but it was interesting how the girls had different looks on their faces when they were doing stuff. The guy who was supposed to be the bully is not the bully, and in fact it was Lanky McLanklank. And I genuinely, as someone who was severely bullied, these things always, my whole body tenses up. I want to say a lot more expletives, but I don't, apart from that one time. It's a very hard episode to watch, a very good episode to watch at the same time, because you're trying to think, okay, clearly they're jealous, and then they showed that she was a little bit arrogant. It was like, is she though, or is she just very closed off? And I was like, she never seemed arrogant for most of it. Then you want to know why the dad, who was the director, why they had someone else's picture over that, and why the son left, because there's that element of it as well. So, well, why did your dad leave? Was it because of everyone dying, so he wanted to protect you and his name? I always forget that the NPCs are not real characters. They're within the game. They feel real, but then you see certain scenarios of when they don't speak, and you're like, it's because they're not programmed, or they're not supposed to be. I liked Dry and Ling Ling recanting their childhoods, but especially when they were struggling with financial issues, growing up poor, and how you do get treated by people, and whoever was the person that defended Ling Ling. It looks like it was the guy who ran off when everything collapsed, and when we saw him in that vision with the from the last story. So it kind of gets to these things where you're like, ooh, like little bit more piecing them together. But the kaleidoscope was the biggest boom, boom, boom for me because it's in the story and it's been in it more than once. Why would you have that in that when you're recanting and telling his childhood? Which is why I'm like, creator of the game. Is he in a coma? Is it limbo? Is he creating all of this? It just feels like that because you're adding the kaleidoscope. It's like, well, the kaleidoscope has been important in more than one story, and now it's actually your childhood, and you're retelling us, and then obviously the other flashbacks, so we get all of that. I have no sympathy for all the kids dying at all. But and I've said this before earlier that all type of shows they actually do bullying really well, but they also do it in different ways. Korea does it in a very hard way to watch. South Korea, the bullying can be so difficult to watch, especially because it can be very sexual, and that's really uncomfortable. But it's also part of like putting out this show to kind of like put a message across, but also to make you feel uneasy. But also, you're supposed to dislike these characters. That's the whole point. They made a song about her. No one cared that she died. They made fun of her. And as someone who genuinely, like other people, when you are very badly bullied, these are big triggers that never truly go away. You just learn to adapt. And, you envision in your head sometimes, like, how you would like to kind of confront your bullies. And in this case, she had an accident the next day, but it's got to be something more. But then it feels like with the accident, they're just saying, and then she died in a car accident. It's like, but why? And why would she haunt all of you after that? So I hope we do get those questions. We might not. They might just relate to the bullying side of things. But we'll see, because it's a lost leg. Why would she take that leg that she lost? And where is everyone else? Because they have to all escape together, right? Time's running out. We've also noticed that Tall One goes home around noon. He always goes home after a certain period. So you only have a few hours to interrogate him and find out the information. And I feel like we've been given a lot of clues of how to piece it together now. And also, Wong Chuang is causing, I think, too many issues. He's messy as hell. But I worry that if he continues to do what he's doing, then Wong Yu and Ling Ling, he's going to cause an accident for one of them. And he's going to cause one of them to die. Because it gets to the point where one could attack the other, who's trying to say, I'm not with this person. But it's also, I think, to deal with the censorship and the fun. Because once Chuang said they share a bed and they sleep together, the girl was like, wait, hold on, what? And that's when you're like, I see what they're doing here. Thank you for watching.